Hello, LifeVantage. This is Darren Jensen coming to you live again from our corporate headquarters here in Salt Lake City, Utah, in Studio B here. And it's a beautiful day. Hopefully, wherever you're at, it's a beautiful day. Although if you're in the upper Midwest, I keep reading that it's like negative 75 wind chill. If you're up there, stay safe, bundle up, they're thick, I don't know, Arctic gear to get around in, because that's some cold weather. So good luck up there. But, we're really looking forward to seeing you all out at our Elite Academy in Charleston, South Carolina. That's coming up next week. So if you have not got your tickets, make sure that you make arrangements to be there, get your tickets, and we'll look forward to seeing you, because the show is going to be memorable, and we've got a lot of exciting new announcements. And what I really like to do while I'm at these events is listen to our incredible leadership speak and get us training. So in this series, we're highlighting some of the main presenters that we'll have on stage. And one of those is Kai Hayes, who's one of our new Pro 8. She went Pro 8 back last October, and she's out of the great state of Texas. So we're going to hear from her in just a minute. But before then, as always, we give away a gift. So if you're joining us, definitely we got some of our biohacking swag gear here. If you'd like to get in on the drawing, put down, this is the front of the shirt, this is the back. Definitely put down your name, city, state, country where applicable. We'll get you into the drawing for the shirts. And exciting times, right? Okay, as I mentioned, we have one of our speakers out at the Elite Academy, is Kai Hayes. She's Pro 8, and she's going to be speaking on the topic of breaking through barriers. So I wanted to get her on a Facebook Live to kind of have her tell us a little bit about her talk. So with that, Kai, welcome. Glad to have you on today.
Good morning, LifeVantage. Good morning, Darren. It's such a privilege to be here with you today. So thank you for inviting me. Appreciate it.
It's a privilege to have you on stage with us. I'm excited to hear what you have to say and teaching us about breaking through barriers. When we talk to our leadership about a topic that they would like to cover, what inspired you with breaking through barriers? I mean, that's an interesting topic, of which is extremely applicable because so many people run into barriers. But what inspired you?
It truly is inspiring to be able to teach this particular topic, because I have a powerful story about my life itself. Because I came from poverty, and at a very early stage, at the age of 25, Darren, I was challenged to take care of 5 mouths, 5 mouths to feed. And, it was a matter of making a decision whether to survive or to thrive. Not about whether to survive or to fail. It's about surviving or thriving, and I chose to thrive. So it was difficult for me from the very get-go, because as a single mom, I ended up my marriage after 3 years, and I had no choice. But with little to no resources, I just went through. I am a very disciplined person, so I believe that the discipline and the excellent work ethics that I had early on allowed me to change my life, because I was set on my goal. I wanted to change my lifestyle. And the only way to do that is to make a choice and to make the decision. It's only me who can change that. So it was very, very challenging for me. So this is really, really great. I'm so excited to share to all of us at the Elite Academy my obstacles and how I broke through that barriers.
It sounds like those were some pretty daunting challenges to face. I mean, single parent, you said you had 5 mouths to feed, and that you had a desire to thrive. I mean, so many people just survive in this life rather than thriving. So you come into LifeVantage, and I think like most people in any new business that they get into, they'll experience obstacles.
Darren, I can't hear you. Sorry.
You can't hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yes. Thank you.
All right. So I would say, so you come into LifeVantage, you're determined to thrive, okay? Like anyone who starts a new business, you're going to run into some obstacles. What were some of the obstacles that you ran into that you think most people may experience? And how did you overcome those?
Okay, I have plenty of those actually, but I'll name a few. Number one, which everybody experienced, I got massive rejections from the get-go. And I lost my friends and several prospects. And it's funny, it truly hurts. And I understand how they feel. It truly hurts. It's painful. And because who wants to be rejected, right? But let me tell you this, these experiences that I had is where I give massive credit to not missing events and training where I learned skills that I needed to go through these barriers. You know, I learned how to detach my emotions from the, you know, decisions of the people that I share this information with. And that famous SW, 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 it is powerful because you have to understand from the very start, if you're doing this business, some will, some won't, so what? Someone else will. You know, do not be attached to any of their decisions. And let me share you with this as well. You know what? I lost my direct sponsor when I was a Pro 3, and that was too early on to lose your leader, right? He quit at Pro 4 rank. But for me, like I said, quitting was not an option because, again, because of this event and training, I learned how to leverage resources and tools. You know, there wasn't much tools. The tools was limited before you came in and your crew came in. Thank God for you guys. But there were a lot of resources, you know. I began reaching out to leaders that I highly respect and selected a few mentors, and I was taught well. And I would say that three things that people must learn ahead of the game. You know, three things. And that's number one, your burning desire. I've got this burning desire that no one can take away from me. It's coming from within. I was focused on my why. And like I said, it's not about surviving. For me, it's thriving, you know. And the second thing is you've got to be coachable because a good leader was once a good follower. If you think that you know it all and that you're better than your mentor, then that's the beginning of your failure because you have to be grounded. You have to learn the skills first before you think you're better than any other people, right? And the third would be excellent work ethics. And I've got those. Yeah, I am willing to work long hours. You take me where you are, you know, because obstacles and excuses, Darren, were not a part of my vocabularies. Having 5 mouths to feed when I was 25, it was difficult. So I was able to get rid of that, those two words. And I would like to give this message to everybody that LifeVantage is truly a remarkable but a tough journey. So therefore, preparation is the key to success. Preparation in everything in life, preparation is the key to success.
So it's an interesting comment you made. You said that you joined the business, you achieved Pro 3, but your sponsor, who was at a Pro 4, decided to quit. And, you know, as I think about barriers, people handle barriers or obstacles different when they're confronted with them. Some people choose to run away. I guess in this case, somebody made the decision to quit or to give up on their dream after it already started. I mean, Pro 4, they're already well on their way to building a business. And so what advice would you give to somebody as they run into these obstacles? How would you advise them to kind of rethink that decision if they want to kind of run away from the obstacle?
Gosh, first of all, I understand where they're coming from because many times, honestly, I contemplated of quitting myself because it's human nature. It's easy to quit. It's easy to not do anything, you know, and versus sacrificing. So, however, for me, it's the end result of that decision to quit. It's going to be painful in the end because we all know that in the next 10, 20 years, LifeVantage is predicted to become a legacy company. And sadly, many people will miss out. So my advice for them is simply, I guess we need to ask them this. Ask them if they are satisfied with what they are doing right now and believe that there's nothing to change in their lives, and that's okay, and so be it. But if they are sick and tired and believe that they needed to make a change in the next 12 months, say 3 years, 5 years from now, well, we ought to tell them they need to make a decision now. Because if they won't, guess what? Tell them the next 12 months, 3 years will pass, and I guarantee, I guarantee you guys that they will be in the same position where they are right now, or perhaps even worse. So, for me, decision is vital. And in addition, we need to encourage them to understand and learn the basic principles and behaviors from the very start. That this is a 2 to 5 year project. That this is a numbers game. That they need to develop and master that skills in network marketing. Because this is a different kind of animal, and we have a saying: professionals kind of like gets paid to pay, and amateurs pays to play. So certainly the lack of skills will not allow us to do the right actions needed to grow our business. So I believe, again, setting the right expectations from the very start can eliminate frustrations. And I want them to know that they can potentially create retirement assets for 2 to 5 years and not 50 to 60 years. And I think it will allow them to think twice before quitting, Darren. Because for me, there's not just a better way.
Okay. In the, we try to keep these kind of teasers for our talks a little short, because since you're speaking at the event, why should somebody attend an event? Why should somebody attend a major event for the company? What benefit is that?
The reason why people must attend event and not miss it, actually treat this as non-negotiable, is because based on my experience, these events truly establish my belief. And can you imagine if you are signing up people, you're giving them false hope if you're not going to the events yourself and setting that right example. Because what are you going to teach them when you come back for when you sign up people? What are you going to teach them? Like, you're going to stare at them and tell them what? Where's the excitement? What is your skills to train them? The events will develop your skills, your beliefs, and you cannot bring the excitement back to them. You have to tell them. You've got to see it. You've got to experience it. You've got to participate. Because it's difficult. I mean, to explain to them and bring the excitement, but it's different when you are there. Really looking at the things that's happening, and that itself will help them truly become bulletproof as they go attend events and training. Actually, we have a survey that the more you attend trainings and events, the more likely you're going to rank advanced, because that begins, you are going to become a leader in your own right, because you will be able to transfer that knowledge to your team, and your team will say, hey, I must I must follow this leadership, because she's rank advancing, she's becoming successful, and she's paving the road for us, and I'd like to follow her footsteps.
Good advice. Well, Kai, sadly, our time is up, but thank you for joining us. Thank you for talking to us about overcoming barriers. I'm looking forward to your talk.
I'm excited.
The Lead Academy. And for all of you out there, if you have not had a chance to get your tickets, grab your tickets, join us in Charleston, South Carolina, and you'll be able to listen to Kai, as well as many of our other leaders, get up and share a variety of topics, learn the skills that Kai is talking about, so that you can become successful. So from all of us here at the corporate headquarters, as well as from Kai out in Texas, thanks for joining us this morning. And we look forward to seeing you next week. We'll see you later. Bye.
Thank you.